Hi, I'm Sheila. Today we're here at Arbor Valley Nursery and we are going to discuss the difference between full and partial sun perennial plants and provide you some examples of plants by each category. There are three major things that you need to consider when deciding to plant a full or partial sun perennial plant. First, you're going to want to think about your sunlight exposure. Partial shade plants need about 4 to 6 hours of full sun a day, preferably in the morning or in the afternoon when the sunlight is not as intense. Full sun plants, however, need at least 6 to 8 hours of full sun a day, preferably spread out through the entire day. The next consideration is watering requirements. Full sun plants typically are going to be experiencing intense heat from the sun and may require additional irrigation, whereas partial sun plants may be more adaptable to shade conditions and may need a little bit less additional water added. The final thing that you want to consider for full and partial sun perennial plants is heat tolerance. In the full sun in Colorado, we have very high light intensity. Full sun perennial plants can handle that, whereas the partial sun perennial plants are going to need a little bit of protection from the shade in order to reduce the heat pressure. Here are some examples of partial sun perennial plants for Colorado. Coral bells, or heuchera, feature a colorful foliage in shades of green, purple, and sometimes bronze, along with small bell-shaped flowers in the late spring to early summer. Heuchera thrives in partial sun and well-drained soil. Bleeding heart, or Dicentra spectabilis, is a unique perennial that produces heart-shaped flowers, usually in shades of pink, white, or bicolor in the early spring. It prefers partial sun as well as moist, well-drained soil. Astilbe is a feathery, flowering perennial that can add a splash of color to any shady areas. This plant produces beautiful plumes of flowers, including shades of pink, red, white, and purple from late spring to midsummer. Lungwort, or pulmonaria, is a typically low-growing perennial with attractive foliage that can change color from silver to green. It produces clusters of pink, purple, and blue flowers, usually in the spring. This plant prefers partial sun to shade. Hostas are shade-loving perennials that have attractive foliage in shades of green, blue, or variegated patterns. They produce spikes of flowers in white, lavender, or purple during the summer, and they thrive in partial sun to shade. Here are some examples of full sun perennial plants for Colorado. Blanket flower, or Gaillardia, is a plant that produces vibrant, fluffy, daisy-like flowers in shades of red, yellow, orange, and bicolor from early summer all the way to fall. Gaillardia is drought-tolerant and it thrives in full sun. Black-eyed Susan, or Rudbeckia, is a classic choice for Colorado gardens. These plants feature yellow and orange petals with a dark brown center all the way from midsummer to late fall. Black-eyed Susan are low-maintenance plants and they attract pollinators. Coneflower, or Echinacea, are known for their showy, daisy-like flowers coming in shades of pink, purple, white, and mixes from midsummer all the way to fall. These plants are hardy, drought-tolerant, and they provide food for butterflies, bees, and other pollinators. Yarrow, or Achillea, is a hardy perennial including clusters of tiny, flat flowers in white, yellow, pink, and red from late spring to summer. Yarrow thrives in full sun and prefers well-drained soil. Butterfly weed, or Asclepias tuberosa, is a native plant that attracts butterflies with its vibrant orange flowers coming from midsummer to early fall. This plant is heat and drought tolerant, making it very ideal for Colorado gardens. These are just a few examples of full and partial sun perennial plants for Colorado. It's important to consider exposure, water requirements, and winter hardiness when selecting plants for your garden.